Hey, what's going on everyone? NoZoupForYou here, and today we're going to talk about the Tier 10 Pan-European destroyer Smaland. And you might have noticed this ship is available in the Armory for 2 million free XP. It is not cheap whatsoever. However, it might be worth it for you, especially if you're a destroyer player, and even possibly if you play in clan battles. Now this ship took me a little while to grow into. I didn't really like it at first. I mean, it's a beautiful ship, don't get me wrong. It looks very modern compared to other World War II ships. I believe it was a little post-World War II, which would explain why. But it's a beautiful looking ship. It's just nice, and even the camouflage is nice on it. I didn't like it at first. I didn't do a lot of damage in it at first, and I still don't have really high damage rounds in it, but I feel like in this ship I can really make a difference in the overall battle. This ship has some great components to it that just help you and your team. So let's talk about some of the statistics of the ship first before I go into my overall thoughts. First and foremost, your survivability, 22,700 hit points. And that's what I have it at because I myself always run survivability expert on my high tier destroyers. I just like having the extra hit points. You don't have to, but that's just what I do. So it gives you a little flexibility. You're able to survive that errant torpedo hit all the better if you need to. Moving on to the artillery on my setup, and again, this is with my setup and all the modules that I'm using to give you an idea what you can get it down to. My main battery on this reloads at 1.3 seconds, which is pretty decent. It's actually pretty quick. So as far as being a gunboat, I think you're kind of right in the middle. There's some faster firing destroyers out there, but you can definitely hold your own. You've got 120 millimeter shells, and again, at 1.3 seconds, you know, that's not that bad whatsoever. And on this ship, you do have 2 double turrets. So you don't have the most guns in the world. You kind of like the Friesland in many ways. But again, fast firing, definitely hold your own. If you get the drop on most destroyers, you'll probably be able to scare them off. So I gotta say, I kind of like the guns there. But that's not all this boat has. You've also got some torpedoes, and these torpedoes are actually pretty good as well. You've got 1 triple launcher and 1 quintuple launcher. And these torpedoes have a range of 12 kilometers, and if you use the right things on it, you can get it up to 80 knots. Now, by using the right things, that's under your modules. In your 3 slot, if you take the Torpedo Tubes Modification 1, which is one of the newer modules you can take, you get that plus 5% increase. Once again, if you take the Commander skill, you can get that even faster. Of course, they'll drop the torpedoes down to 10 kilometers, but torpedoes that are over 80 knots, verging on 90, that's actually pretty scary. So, something to think about right there if you want to use those. AA defense on this ship is pretty darn good as well. You've got a base defense of 85 out of 100, which well exceeds most destroyers in this game. For maneuverability on the Smaland, you're looking at a maximum speed of 36.8 knots with Sierra mics, turning circle radius of 660 meters, and a rudder shift time of 4.3 seconds. Not the most nimble ship in the world, but she's not an absolute pig, like some of the other destroyers out there. Best concealment you're going to get on her is 6.1 kilometers. Anything less than that, and the ship probably would be a little unfair with the attributes that it does have. And those attributes, on the consumable side, are pretty darn good. First and foremost, you have surveillance radar, 7.5 kilometers. And that's going to be one of your best weapons on this ship, and one of the main reasons why you're going to want this ship. In addition to that, you also have heals. Actually, the heals really combined with the radar make this one of the perfect destroyer hunting ships in the game. Lastly, of course, you do have your speed boost, but something to know about that, your speed boost does not last the longest. It only lasts for 60 seconds. So really, this is just to use to get the hell out of Dodge if you have to get out of Dodge, but it's not something that's going to last forever like some of the other destroyers out there. So let's talk about the Smaland, and whether or not this ship is worth 2 million free XP. Really, that's going to come down to whether you have it laying around and if you're a destroyer main. If you're a destroyer main, I really think that you'll find a lot of utility in this ship. It's very similar to the other European destroyers in that it's kind of a jack of all trades almost, and very similar to ships like the Loyang. As I said, I didn't like it at first, but I was trying to play this ship in a way that would give me a lot of damage. You can do a lot of damage in this ship. You can actually do extreme amounts of damage in this ship if you play it correctly. I mean, your HE fire chance isn't that bad on this ship. You can definitely start fires. The HE actually hurts along with your AP, so you've got good guns right there. And your torpedoes as well are very good. I mean, they're fast. They don't hit the hardest, but if they did hit the hardest, it would be kind of a little unfair because they're hard to escape. I mean, 80-knot torpedoes. That's pretty insane right there. And 12 kilometers at that. So they've got to kind of temper things, and one of the things they did to balance things out is give it weaker torpedoes. But the thing about this ship is, it's one of the perfect scouting ships. You don't have the best concealment in the world, but you really don't need it because you've got that radar. And if you do get within another destroyer's wheelhouse, something like a Shimakaze that can outspot you, you've got your radar that you can just pump on, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is, your entire team focuses it and destroys it once you've already gotten out of the range of it. So there is a lot of utility in this ship. It's got good offensive power, it's got good defensive power, you've got good AA. I mean, really, this is a very, very well-rounded ship. And honestly, while 2 million XP might seem like a lot, I think it's a good price for this ship because we're never going to see ships that only cost 1 million XP again. Such that the economy is right now, this is the way things are going to be going. So I would say that 2 million is the norm from this point on, and if you have it lying around and you're DD main, I would say go for it, because this is a good destroyer. I think she's going to find her way into many ports. I think on the clan scene she might be used to pretty good effect by some players, but you know, I'll let the players that are actually in clans kind of comment in this video in the comments section. Let me know what your thoughts of her are, and if you think you'll be using her in clan battles. But this is a look at the Smaland. Good ship, good all-around ship, lots of fun, lots of value, lots of utility, can definitely help your team out. And if you're a team player and you like doing that, this is the destroyer for you. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been a review of the Smaland. Hope you all are doing wonderful. Hope you all are staying safe, virus-free. I'm secluded to my house with my new babies and my wife right now for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going out if I don't have to. So, while I might not have time to play World of Warships, I'm going to be duly engaged doing other things such as raising 2 3-week-olds, which is going to be an absolute blast at times and a lot of pain as well. So, hope you all are doing wonderful. I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.